Hello and welcome to Phygital Games YouTube channel. It's still me, your guide to the Phygital space, Paul. Last time we talked about games of the future, learned about the challenges and the format, went through the beloved CSGO in detail. If you missed it, then somewhere here you can find past episodes. Today I wanted to tell you more about Phygital Football. Phygital Football was developed, invented, appeared in Russia in 2022. Currently, it is rapidly developing and gaining popularity in many countries around the world. The number of participants is constantly growing. Already in 2022, the first World Championship was held in Russia, where the guys from Brazil turned out to be the best goal scorers. Phygital Football is interesting and exciting sport that combines physical activity and digital technology. By the way, here are just a few names that are known all over the world who play digital football. Muhammad Ashraf, Eduardo Santos, Lucien Fabre, and many other known footballers. But let's get back to games of the future. The winners of the qualifying stages will go to the grand final of Phygital Football Games, in which the best teams from each country will participate. The winners of these qualifying rounds will be eligible to play in the final of Phygital Football Games in Kazan in 2024. We already know the names of the winners of two Phygital tournaments, Brazilian stars from TAMO JUNTO and Moscow Phoenix, but more on that later. If you ever played any kind of football in real life, then rules of Phygital Football are quite simple for you, which is why it's beloved by the players and viewers alike so much. Do names like Messi or Ronaldo make sense to you? What about card packs? Have you ever opened some FIFA goodness in a chance to find that gold? There are more and more players all over the planet with each passing day. Anyone from young to old knows the game. Everyone who played football or held a joystick in their hands will figure it out. Let's talk about this a little more. Phygital Football Tournament consists of two stages. On the digital stage, interactive football matches will be held in accordance with the interactive football 4v4 format. Teams will play a virtual match of 2 3-minute halves. Two athletes from each team will participate in each halftime. On the physical stage, teams are playing mini-football matches in accordance with the mini-football rules. Each team has 5 players on the field, with 2 substitutes. The winner of the match is determined by the sum of goals scored at the digital and physical stages. In case the number of goals scored and goals conceded are equal, the winner is decided by conducting a series of penalty kicks from a 6-meter mark. If you might have an idea of what's ahead in the future, we're already making this future today. 2 tournaments have already taken place, one last year and the second not so long ago, in May of this year. Both tournaments were held in Kazan. Production and overall quality for both tournaments is mind-blowing. Let's take a closer look about each of them. Tatarstan saw the performance of Phygital athletes from Russia, Belarus, Brazil, Turkey and Bulgaria. It is important to note that we didn't just invite participants with a foreign passport, but reviewed closely the entries of teams and clubs and were primarily guided by the competitive ability of those who wish to compete. Close contests in the matches proved that the participants had been selected in a proper way. Charismatic Brazilians from TAMO JUNTO showed a real carnival on court, while clingy Ural guys from New Russian put up a good fight against them, losing only on after-game penalties on the battle for the main trophy. A real extravaganza was put on by Russian media football stars, from fake football and loco. Impressive results of the first games, where one of the disciplines was football. 20 teams, 5 participating countries, 3,500 people attended the stadium, 18 hours of live broadcast, 6.5 million views on the internet. And now, let's take a closer look into the final match, where, to remind you, were 2 teams, Brazilian TAMO JUNTO and guys from New Russians. Brazilians were able to grab the trophy in a thrilling final. If in the first match the teams were more focused on the show and the beauty of tricks executed on the pitch, then in the title match all participants cared only about winning and clinching the title of the first champions of Phygital Games. And one has to admit that the match was worthy of its status. Throughout the whole clash, the teams played very conservatively, as they knew perfectly well errors can cost them dearly. In the digital part, TAMO JUNTO and New Russians are rather amateurs than professionals. Both lineups are represented entirely by former professional footballers, so the match played on the game console was more like a formality for both teams. It was plain to see that in their thoughts the players were already on the futsal court. Brazilians won the FIFA game 2-0. But then a true battle began on the many football field. In a real football match, none of the teams wanted to give in, and the overall mood on the arena reminded of a Champions League final, with prompting from the coach, sounds of impact and utmost concentration. The New Russian team leveled the aggregate score based on the results of 2 10-minute-long halves to take the match into a series of penalty kicks, which the team JUNTO won the second time over the course of 2 days. Congrats to the guys from Brazil on the well-deserved champions title. The level of competition is very high. Among the participants you can often meet the stars of esports and real sports. This adds an extra spice to the serious competition as it is. So this keeps viewers always entertained. From the outset, Brazil's R10 team was the front runner of the tournament, reaching the final against Russia. Proclaiming the intention to take home the Phygital Games trophy, our team's goalkeeper, Lucian Teles, commented before the game: "We're happy to reach the final, but as Brazilians, we cannot be delighted with a silver in football." Throughout the tournament, in addition to the Brazilians, 2 Russian teams were the top performers, Rotor and Phoenix. Volgograd Rotor managed to outplay Russian Phoenix and Estrellas FC from Argentina at the group stage. On the way to the finals, Phoenix defeated the Kazan Tatar squad and Uruguayan club Penarol and defeated compatriots Rotor in the semi-finals. This left Volgograd club Rotor the opportunity to compete only for 3rd place, to take home bronze. Well, what about Russian stars, you say? The best football player in Russia, winner of the cups of the French and English Premier Leagues, and just a legend of Russian football. Alexei Smertin also joined the Phygital team. It should be noted that Alexei Smertin made a huge contribution to the development and popularization of Russian football. His name is well known all over the world. Together with the Russian Football Union, he actively participated in the improvement of the Phygital football format. Alexei Smertin initiation into the Phygital team took place in the final day of the Phygital Games in Kazan. During the first days of the Phygital football tournament, popular bloggers Sergei Kefir Nikiforov, and Bogdan joined the team. And here's a question for you. Who play games and inspires millions of fans around the world? Let's meet our heroes. Moscow Phoenix has one of the most experienced lineups. Roman Shishkin, Alexander Shishukov, men's national team of Russia ex-footballers and former FC Spartak Moscow, plays together with the young and talented Pavel Skuratov, winner of the Russian Interactive Football Cup 2022, and Nikolai Brenev, winner of the Moscow Interactive Football Cup in 2020. R10 Atletico Peñarol and 3 Estrellas FC from Argentina represented South America at the Phygital Games. R10 was created by one of the greatest players of all time, who won 2 FIFA World Player of the Year awards and a Ballon d'Or, the legendary Ronaldinho. Brazilian team goalkeeper Luan Teles is worth mentioning. He plays for the 7v7 national football team. Uruguayan's lineup consists of former Atletico Peñarol graduates. The leader of the Argentinian Team 3, Estrellas Franco Bertucci, was an intern at Football Club Barcelona's youth academy, but opted for eFootball. He became one of the founders of Argentine League of Streamers. Some of them will be starring in Kazan. Phygital is not only about sports and computer games, but also a lot of fun and additional content. For example, videos like "Participants are trying Russian food for the first time." Big surprise! The stars also participate in fun content and amuse the audience. By the way, you can find interesting videos on the Russian YouTube channel of Games of the Future. I assure you that to understand what is happening, you do not need to know Russian. You only need to understand the language of humor. For example, you can see how Uruguayans try national Russian food, including jelly, kvass and shproty, canned Russian fish. See this and more here. Well, we will try to add more content to our English channel. And don't forget to subscribe. Moving on. The Brazilian superstar team, among which its core consists of world-class athletes, conquered the tournament and gave its prize pool of $1 million to the charity. The Brazilian footballers who conquered with their charisma the Russian Media League and then the Phygital Games in Kazan donated their $1 million worth prize money to charity and played a friendly match with the pupils of Kazan boarding school number 1 and the kids from the football club Dobrynya. This season popular Latin American bloggers who glean millions of views and likes on the internet came to conquer Russia. Even though today TAMO JUNTO is a successful media team, time was for some of the participants who live and train in the poor regions of Brazil. This was just a wild dream. They know it all too well how important it is to support a sport initiative and inspire young athletes to new achievements. The pupils of boarding school number 1, who are shortly due to represent Tatarstan at the Unified Games, to be held according to the program of Special Olympiad and Intellectually Challenged Children from the football club Dobrynya, met on a football field with the stars of social media from Brazil. Time and again, that friendly match proved that you don't have to necessarily speak the same language if you're united by the love for one sports discipline. In September, TAMO JUNTO became a bright relation of the games, hoisting the trophy. They took up the challenge to test their favorite sport in Phygital format. First, they completed on a console in FIFA, and then clashed in a real field according to mini football rules. They were up against well-known footballers from the Russian Media League, defending the colors of their clubs. Also, they had skillful players in FIFA, Artem Khalilov and Robert Ufenok 77 Fakhreddinov, and the athletes from the club New Russian from Yekaterinburg. Phygital champions TAMO JUNTO transferred the prize money they received in September for scoring a win at the Phygital Games to the Tatarstan Republican Division of the All-Star Russian Social Charity Organization, helping intellectually challenged people, Russia Special Olympiad. Deputy Sports Minister of Tatarstan Republic, Ildar Sadriev, attended the friendly match and personally thanked the Brazilian athletes. Football, or as Americans like to call it, soccer, is the most popular sport in the world. Whole families gather at a TV set to watch the final match of the Football World Cup. Who is better, Ronaldo or Messi? Answer to this question actually I would love to see in our comment section. Me personally, Messi all the way, baby! Woo! Phew, I almost forgot. I hope you had as much fun as I did today. Football gives unforgettable emotions, but also drains a lot of energy. I'm a bit out of breath with all this grass talk. That's all for today. Don't forget to always stay hydrated and play not only inside the house, but sometimes outside. My name's Paul. Bye.